Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to 1% Better, the ultimate podcast for men striving to level up in every area of their life. I'm Steve Burrows, and on every episode, I'll share actionable insights, expert advice, and raw conversation designed to help you get 1% better every single day. Hey, listen, I'm really happy that you joined me for today's episode because I want to talk about something that we as men can easily fall into. This is a trap that will lead us down a dark and nasty rabbit hole that will end up in depression and unhappiness. And so I thought it was an important topic to discuss, and it can be summarized by 3 words: compete, don't compare. Compete, don't compare. So what does this mean? Quite often we compare ourselves to others and we measure our success, our accomplishments based on what we see on others. And of course, we know that doing that with people online, where people tend to post the best parts of their life and not the struggles, the challenges, or the obstacles they've overcome, but just the good bits, we can fall into a habit of feeling bad about our own lives and our own accomplishments because it's not the same as what we see online. And we know that this is a reality, and it's good to remember not to do that. But we can also do that when we look at others around us. And this mindset where we're never good enough because we're looking at what others have and not what we have ends up developing a mindset that really works against us. So if we want to continue to move forward and to be successful in all areas of our life, we have to change our mentality. We have to change our mindset, and we have to face a few realities that once we do lock these in, we can not only be happier and more content in the life that we have, but we can move forward and reach those accomplishments that we strive for. So, compete, don't compare. Here's a couple of things I want to talk about today. Number 1, you have to compete against yourself. When you compare yourself to others, you're not using the same unit of measurement. You can only compare yourself to where you were yesterday. Compare your current achievements to your past achievements. You need to focus on progress, not perfection. The focus shouldn't be on getting approval from other people or doing what other people have done. The focus should be on improving yourself. Let me tell you an example. I want to tell you about this junior hockey player that I know. Now, in Ontario, in Canada, this player never played AAA in his minor hockey years. He was always close, but he never played AAA. And AAA is the highest level you can play in minor hockey, and he was never quite there. Always a bridesmaid, never the bride. He was sometimes out to practice with those teams. He was listed as an affiliated player with the AAA teams, but he never made the teams. And he really should have stopped his hockey career once he got to his last year of minor hockey. But every day he showed up and worked his ass off. Every single day. And it didn't matter whether it was on ice or in the gym or on the track or even with his mental game. This kid just showed up and worked. And he got better and better and better and better. He put the time in. He went to private training, invested a ton of money into his own athletic development, and just kept getting better and better and better. And in his last year of minor hockey, instead of playing his last year of U18, he actually made a junior C team. There was a coach who took a chance on him, showed how hard he worked, showed how athletically gifted he was, and didn't look at the fact that he hadn't played AAA, didn't look at his resume, just looked at the kid that showed up in front of him, saw a hardworking kid, and the coach signed him. And he was ecstatic because while all the other kids who'd made AAA teams were getting easy invitations into higher levels of junior hockey, or playing U18 AAA, This kid had done something that kids with his resume had not done. He'd made a junior C team as a 17-year-old and showed up and put the work in each and every day. And what happened that season? Well, he wasn't on one of the best teams and the team really struggled, but his attitude didn't change. He wasn't comparing himself to those around him. He just knew that if he kept working hard and kept hustling, that good things and the right opportunities will happen. Well, sure enough, towards the end of the season, he's going into the postseason. The team was knocked out pretty early, and he didn't have a team lined up for next year. So what did he do? He worked hard. He reached out over the summer. He found some people to do summer skates with, and he impressed everyone he skated with. So much so that the next season he signed with the Junior B team, moving up a level. Now everyone around him in the Junior B team was all pre-drafted to the OHL. These are all kids who had all played AAA and had all been drafted to the O, to the show. And he was the only kid in the entire league who hadn't played AAA. He didn't have that resume in his background. But it didn't matter. Every day he showed up, he worked hard, he got better and better and better. And towards the end of the Junior B season, he was getting offers from teams that were the best of the best. They were elite teams. It was the next level up where he wanted to be. And had he have fallen into the trap of comparing his resume and his previous hockey experience to those around him, he would have given up. He would have realized that, you know what, I'm maxing out here. This is as far as I could possibly go for someone with a resume like mine. But he didn't do that. All he did was compare himself to the previous season, to the previous week, to the previous day, and asked himself, what can I do to get better today? Comparing himself to the player he was the day before. So this mindset helped him overcome the I'm stuck, I'm maxing out at where I am, and help him keep moving on, not seeking the approval of others or comparing himself to others, but instead just comparing himself to where he was the day before. A big part of this is realizing that there is no one coming to help you. You have to create your own chances. Your life is your responsibility. And the person who cares most about your success and your accomplishments and what you can actually do with your life is you. So you can't be shy. You have to go out there and you have to make it happen. So what are some ways you can do this? Well, the first one is you have to find people who are smarter than you, and you need to work with them. Don't compete against these people. You need to work with them. You need to learn from them to find out what they know, what they've done, and how you can learn from them. Finding these people who are smarter than you will help equip you for your next step. And then this rule applies over and over and over again. Once you make that next level, look for people who are smarter than you still and keep moving up. The next thing you should do is don't take advice from people who are not where you want to be. Right? If this isn't someone that you would go to for advice, why would you care about their opinion right from the beginning? If they're not where you want to be, don't listen to them, because quite often those below you will throw hate your way because they may not want to see you achieve. They may be afraid that you're going to achieve, subconsciously, of course. So listen to people who are where you want to be. Celebrate the success of others. So this is an important piece of this mindset, because what it does is it adapts a mindset of abundance, right? By celebrating the success of others, successful people want to see others successful. They don't want to see others fail. They don't want to see themselves thrive only to let others starve. They want everybody to win. And once you accept this mindset, you can then help others be successful. And in return, others will help you be the same way. So you need to adopt that abundance mindset. The next thing you do is practice gratitude. Comparison is the enemy of happiness. And if we can pause and think about the things that we have in life that we really appreciate having, whether it's health or wealth or family or friends, whether it's accomplishments or opportunities, celebrate the things that come your way. Find the things to be grateful for each and every day. It could just be that beautiful sunrise that you get in your drive into the office. It could be the workout that you get to squeeze in between meetings. Find things to be grateful for. Next, you need to train yourself not to take things personally. When we attach emotions to setbacks and to obstacles and challenges, we can get bogged down in our thinking. We can start to wonder, well, why did that person do that to me? Why did that situation happen to me? Why did they say that? And that halts progress because we can't move forward if we're bogged down in emotions. By not seeking the approval of others and not taking things personally when we don't get the news we want or we don't get the feedback we want, by taking the emotions out of it, we can just put that up on a shelf. It can just be feedback that we either choose to learn from or choose to ignore, but we stay on our path. We stick to our vision, we stick to our journey, and we keep moving forward without getting bogged down in emotion. And that's key. And all successful people will do that. If you think back to my hockey player example, he struggled emotionally because he was always the last cut from those AAA teams. And his friends would make those teams and people would treat him differently because he wasn't on those high teams. And that's a hard thing not to take personally because he was constantly asking himself, well, what's wrong with me? I'm putting in the work. I'm hustling. I'm taking everything seriously. I'm eating well. I'm hydrating. I'm doing everything I should be doing, but I'm not making the top team. So it was very difficult not to attach that to emotions because it was frustrating. But he was able to move past that and realize that, hey, maybe these decisions were being made for other reasons that don't have anything to do with me at all. Maybe it was just the politics of youth sports, because let's be honest, there's a lot of politics and there's a lot of people who are in it for themselves and not necessarily for the kids. And sometimes in tryouts don't have the integrity that tryouts should have. So he was able to separate himself from that and just focus on the fact that if he keeps working hard and if he keeps focusing on his self and his progress, good things will happen and good things will come. And they certainly did, with him getting to a level that he got to, that people with his resume rarely ever get to. So as men and as husbands and as fathers, sometimes we can be very, very tempted to compare ourselves to the ideal, compare ourselves to what we think we should be as fathers, as husbands, and as men. And we can feel the pressure to act a certain way and be a certain type of man in front of others. But the reality is, we're each individuals. And as long as we have our values and our morals set, our moral compass pointed in the right direction, we can set goals for ourselves and compete against the man we were yesterday. And true happiness and true gratitude will come when we realize that our accomplishments are exactly that. Significant accomplishments that we should celebrate and use to help us keep moving forward. Well, gentlemen, that's all I have for today. Thanks for joining me for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share this far and wide to like-minded men everywhere. Let's build a community of strong men who get 1% better each and every day. We'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.